But basically, in the evening, on Sunday evening, we come together and we start with a very simple little process. And the idea is just to get into the who are we kind of thing.
Right.
So I have a little process, and it's a little prayer session that we have. Then on Monday morning, first thing that happens is we have what we call group therapy in a sense. But it's a little different than any other kind of group therapy you've experienced, if you've ever experienced a group therapy. We use art, and it's photography. Margie's a photographer, and we have beautiful photography.
Oh, right.
So we use the pictures of the art to kind of, what is this saying to you? How is this talking to you? What is, what's happening in your life that you relate to in this particular picture? And so we just kind of think about it a little bit. Margie and I are both listening during the session, basically, just where is the person and what are the issues we need to work with. And then we do individuals for each person, individual counseling, individual spiritual direction. And so they spend an hour with us during the day and work on whatever the issue the person wants to work on. Sometimes it's more spiritual than it is emotional. Sometimes it's more emotional than spiritual.
Right.
But Marge and I try to help them pull it together and not get, let's not compartmentalize ourselves. And just, what's the meaning of this issue? How can we work with it? How can we find healing in it? I often use scripture and use women in scripture. You take the bent over woman, or you take the woman with a hemorrhage, or you take the woman at the well, or any woman you want to take.
Right.
And I listen to the story that the woman is told, and I think, that might be the woman she needs.
Right.
That woman becomes her patron saint, or her kind of her sponsor for the week.
Right.
And we kind of work, we kind of work with, what is that woman in Scripture saying to you? And I have all different kinds of ways to help them to learn to pray Scripture. It's sort of foreign to a lot of people to pray Scripture rather than just simply read it. To get right into the guts of it, just as I call, chew on Scripture and find out how are you like this woman. And what happens, like with the woman with the bent over woman, it's usually a person who's experienced some abuse or some really heavy thing that's just knocked her down, kind of thing. So how can you stand up straight? What's the difference when you stand up straight than when you were bent over?
Right.
And then, and as this woman becomes, some of them name the woman, some of them basically, I have the woman write them letters so that they have something to take home that this woman spoke to them while they were in this retreat. And it's really important to take stuff home with you.
Right.
I had one woman deal with a man that was sitting on the side of the pool for 38 years. And why? Because she was just, she was really sort of blocked,
Right.
Why is he on the side of the pool and whatnot? And and I noticed she was sort of an artist herself. I said, well, why don't you make a cartoon of this scripture? Well, it was just totally amazing what she came back with, because she was getting into the scripture and how it applied to her personal life and how she could move on. And, eventually she got in the pool and she's fine, in a sense.
Is that right?
She's healed.
That quickly, really?
Well, yeah. I think when people get really in touch with their deepest self, healing happens. And sometimes it's just accepting what has happened and then, going through the forgiveness of it and forgiving yourself for whatever situation you've been in that you wish you wouldn't have been in. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. And so with
all women, with everyone.
With everyone.
Sure,
we all, any of us that lived long enough know we got problems. So, it's just life stuff.
Right.
And so, and it's not for people who have mental illness.
It is not. The retreats are not for people who have mental illness.
No.
Yes.
So if you're under psychiatric care or some other, mental health, we don't deal with. This is normal stuff that we all deal with. And we've all been there. And, so many ways, all of us in the little group can really sympathize with each other because we've all been there. It's not like it's, something abnormal. It's really normal. It's normal
both
life stuff.
Sympathy and empathy. Yes, both.
Right.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So the course of each day may change a little bit, as you said, again, depending on the group.
Right.
There, and you can have as few as how many? Of course, it's you and Sister Margie and Sister Trina?
We've done it with 3 it's difficult to do with 3 because you like the group dynamic.
Right, sure.
But we can do it with 3.
Sure, sure.
And 7 is probably our limit because then you've got 7 hours of counseling plus the group plus the group prayer kind of thing. So,
Yes.
how hard can you work?
Oh, yeah, sure. So you've got, I mean, if folks are going to sign up, they need to call now because ultimately it's going to cut off.
Right. Exactly.
And the cost for a viewer who may be interested, who may be able to take a week off, let's say August 17th through the 23rd to go to Maggie Valley, or possibly October 12th through the 19th, if that's some time they could find to go down to Litchfield. You're going to be in and we'll talk about the environment a little bit, the homes you've talked about. But what's the cost for a viewer if they feel they could take that kind of time off and attend?
Well, it's probably the cheapest vacation you've ever taken.
I was about to say, it probably is. I'm sorry it's not open for men. Yeah, I could probably find some time.
Yeah, it's $750.
That reasonable.
Yes.
Wow.
And you get 6 counseling sessions, 6 spiritual direction sessions, 6 group sessions, plus your room and board.
The meals.
And the meals. I always gain weight and have to go home and fast.
Fast until the next one.
Right, exactly.
That's amazing. And these are homes that folks will donate the homes or more or less enable you all the opportunity to be there.
Right. Often there's people in this area who have donated their homes to us. Otherwise, we rent condos or we rent where we get a reasonable price, especially off season. We get a pretty reasonable rate,
Absolutely.
In the mountains, we're getting a pretty reasonable rate. We
There
figure
in
it's
Maggie
hurricane
Valley.
season, so we'll be up there in August.
Smart thinking, yes.
So,
Good thinking. I think you said the one coming up in Kingstree is totally booked.
Right.
September 21st.
Right.
And again, I'm sure you probably have a line. I mean, people thinking about it all the time. I want to attend, but finding the right time in their schedule is very important.
Well, just think of it as a vacation with God.
Right.
I mean, basically, that's what it is. And it's treating yourself and, just taking care of yourself, taking that week to take care of yourself and not worry about, because everything's done for you, which is kind of nice, and you can just enjoy and have fun. And some of them get a little wild. No.
That's right. I saw that at the end of one of the testimonials there, Mary Beth's, where she said laughter and no cooking or cleaning. What more could you want? What more could you want? And of course, they go on. I've got to say, folks, whether they have internet access or not, if they don't have it, they need to go to the library, get on a computer there so they can visit wholenessretreats.com and look at some of these wonderful testimonials. I wish they're all probably pretty long. I mean, they're all too long for me to go ahead and read. Actually, all but this one. Here's one of Mary Joan. The Wholeness, Holiness retreats helped me to realize that I am God's beloved. As I unbound my own wounds, behaviors, and past hurts, I feel called to wrap my arms around others with a shawl of comfort and love. I want to radiate God's love to others so we can each see the goodness in one another and become our true selves. Each and every one of these testimonials has that same theme that they've really gotten a lot out of the course. Even the 80-year-old who writes in there about her experience. And as you said, there's even a couple potentially older than her. But that experience for her and how it impacted her life, having lived a very full life, as she opens up, I'm towards the end of my life journey, but beginning another very special journey.
She's still on cloud 9. I talked to her. I just happened to talk to her this last weekend. I ran into her, and she's still on cloud 9. She took her room and took all the pictures and put them on her wall.
No.
So she has a little wall of prayer up there, sort of thing. Right. So yeah, she's still enjoying her retreat.
Well, folks, they really have to find a way to get online to see some of these very special ones. And also someone else, Linda here, says, I am not Catholic, so I didn't really know what to expect. However, I soon learned that my denomination didn't really matter, that this was open to everybody, and that Sister Connie and Sister Margie, and now bringing Sister Trina in,
Sister Trina,
so that she can bring some art in and y'all can have that opportunity. It's really special.
Exactly.
You mentioned a special thing before we started, Sister Connie, that if someone can't afford the $750, that there may be some scholarship opportunities or some grants out there. Right,
yes. We have a donor that is giving us money to help. So and if I really know you can't afford it, we can find money. Don't let the money hold you up. It's not it's not what we live on. So
Yes, yes.
I mean, not that we don't need money, but
No, no, no.
But
you can find a way.
Right, we can always find a way.
902-6807. What for you, Sister Connie, if you weren't doing the Holiness retreats or hadn't founded Mercy Hospice, what do you think you'd be doing?
Oh, I can't imagine. I have my fingers in many other things, so
Yeah.
this is for now,
Right.
you know. And I'm 72, you know, so
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
you know, I'm with those older ladies, but I'm enjoying it. But yeah, I volunteer in the community a lot.
That's wonderful.
And I happen to be an organist at a Lutheran church and a Catholic church, so I keep my fingers in this, that. and
Yes,
little
you
piece,
really
so-
do keep your
Yeah,
fingers
right.
moving. That's wonderful. Well, thanks so much for being with us this morning. I'm sorry
Okay.
we've run out of time. Enjoyed, God bless, these great upcoming Holiness retreats. Stay tuned to a little more of Sister Connie Fahey coming up next. The longer I sit here with Sister Connie, the more I know it's difficult to do a wrap like this because there's so many great aspects of it. Picking up one of these brochures, one of these application forms for the retreat is perfect in and of itself. One of a kind, once in a lifetime, life-changing retreat. Opening minds and hearts of women. This is a real opportunity. If you're 18 or older, take the time to write down this cell number. As I was thinking earlier, how often do I have guests that give out their cell number? It highlights Sister Connie's commitment to spiritual well-being. She wants you to be a part of this. If you're 18 and older, pick up the phone, 843-902-6807, 843-902-6807, wholenessretreats.com, wholenessretreats.com. Even though during the interview I highlighted those great words from Mary Beth, where she said, no cooking or cleaning, who could pass up an opportunity like this? The real highlight of it was her testimony right there. I'm just giving you a piece of it, just a piece of it. Oh, on the surface, I had a good life. I had a strong faith, but I was just existing. I was not living. I had lost the playful, strong, confident, beautiful part of me. All of that changed in this glorious week. I felt a rebirth, an awakening. I found me again. I became free to choose, free to live, free to love, free to play, free to pray in my own way, Think of that. Sisters Margie and Connie are messengers sent from God. They are strong yet gentle, supportive yet tough, fun yet serious. Don't you want to hear what else Mary Beth says? Don't you want to read it? Take the time to go online to wholenessretreats.com. Or I bet Sister Connie would read it to you if you give her a call, 843-902-6807. Sister Connie, thanks so much for being with us this morning. It's really been a treat.